Well, hey everyone, I'm Herrick Kimball. I'm standing out here by the Minibed Experimental Garden once again with an update. It's August 17th. It's going to be a hot day once again. We are in and have been in a drought situation for a while here. The Minibed garden has performed pretty well, but it is in decline. It's in seasonal decline, and I think it's in a little bit of advanced decline because of the drought situation. We have done some watering of the mini beds, not a lot. If we had done more, we probably would have better success when you've got this drought situation, especially. But for the most part, the garden has produced, it is producing, we're eating from it, we're happy with how it has performed. So what I want to do now is show you a series of photographs, and I'm going to explain where we're at here with different plantings. Here's a quick photo of my Minibed onion crop, the harvest of which I showed in my last video. As you can see, they're drying down very nicely under the shelter of my storage trailer. I grow enough onions in my mini beds to supply my wife and I through the year. We probably consume onions in one form or another every day of the year. Here you can see my potato mini beds, 2 rows. I've harvested 2 beds for fresh eating so far. 4 potato mini beds with declining foliage are in the foreground. I've cut off the dying top growth on all the other beds in the background, the ones with the red plastic. I'll leave the potatoes in the ground until the fall. My understanding is that if you leave them in the ground longer, the skins toughen up and they'll store better through the winter. Here are 2 mini beds I planted to green beans, only 4 plants per bed. My wife Marlene has made several pickings for several meals from those 8 plants. I asked her today if I should pull them up, and she told me to wait because there are some new blossoms. Here's one of 5 pepper mini beds, 4 plants to a bed, very productive. We had stuffed peppers for lunch today. Most of the crop will be sliced, bagged, and frozen, then used in the winter months in soups, chili, and mixed with scrambled eggs for breakfast. Here's my Zephyr summer squash, 1 single plant in the mini bed. It's a stunningly healthy and productive plant. It has completely covered a potato mini bed next to it. Here you can see one of my honeyberry bushes. I've had to prune the Zephyr squash leaves away so the honeyberry could get some sun. This is a tired old cucumber mini bed. We had 2 cucumber beds and more cukes than we could possibly use, which is, of course, a nice situation to have. Back on July 16th, that was just about exactly a month ago, I planted these 2 mini beds to cucumbers, and they will be giving us cucumbers very soon. I know that I planted those 2 mini beds on July 16th because I put that information on the plant stick you see here. I'll save that marker for future reference. July 16th worked really well for a second planting date. Here's the celery bed. A parsley bed is behind it. The celery gets used mainly when Marlene cans tomatoes, and that project is going to be upon us very soon. As usual, my tomato crop has suffered from blight, but not before producing an abundance of fruits. The green tomatoes have plenty of time to ripen, and they'll be used for canning. The 2 tomato beds I planted with fresh-eating tomatoes were severely blighted, and I decided to cut out all the blighted foliage. There isn't much left, except a lot of nice big fruits, like you see here. Elsewhere in the garden, I have a T-post trellis span with these smaller tomatoes. They're supported on strings, and you'll notice there's no blight on these. Here's a bed of cilantro, which Marlene uses when making fresh salsa. This one purslane weed grew through a small hole in the plastic mulch. It's quite a specimen. I added it to my compost bin. Here you can see oat-planted mini beds on the left. I will harvest those beds for seed and straw, which will be used on my strawberry mini beds next year. A row of strawberry beds can be seen in the center of the picture. I have 6 strawberry mini beds with 4 plants per bed. I hope to plant at least 12 more beds with strawberries next year. These plantings are very easy to manage, the berries are easy to pick, and the yield in past years has been great. Here you can see that my winter squash mini bed plantings are dying down, and I'm starting to see some of the crop. These small squashes will be stored in a cool, dry upstairs room in our house and be used through the winter months. My summer-bearing raspberry mini beds are not doing well. There are very few good, strong canes to produce next year's crop. I'll be digging these beds up and planting them to other crops. I'll end this video on a more positive image. Beets are my favorite vegetable, and roasted beets are, in my opinion, the best way to eat them. If you're new to mini-bed gardening, I want you to know that it is the most manageable, productive, and satisfying way of gardening that I have ever experienced. And I've been gardening for over 50 years. I've tried just about every other gardening technique out there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.